You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Hello Ladies After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Hello Ladies After Show.
Hello, and welcome to our after show for Hello Ladies Season 1, Episode 6, entitled Long Beach. My name is Oriana Leo, and joining me are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hi guys, my name is Jillian Leff.
Hello, I'm Kylie Hodges.
And you know what? I am thrilled to say that this episode was not nearly as cringeworthy as the rest. And
I actually liked this episode.
I laughed all the way through. What about you?
Yeah,
Kylie?
you know, you and I were talking before. I think this was one of the best episodes of the season so far. It was funny. It was moving quickly. I was surprised that the episode was done when it wrapped up. It went fast.
Previous episodes I felt have had so many cringe-worthy moments that it made me just too uncomfortable. This time, I felt like it was a rollicking good laugh.
I mean, I just felt like last week was just awful, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I did not like it, and this week totally made up for it. I'm starting to see how they maybe have fallen out of their groove, and now they're starting to get back in it. So I'm kind of excited to talk about this episode.
Yeah.
So let's start out with Stuart and the LBC crew.
LBC!
He is having his... First of all, we open with Stuart sleeping on top of Jessica, essentially. They are sharing a bed because the guest house is having a roof repair. So that's how we open up our episode.
And then Stuart wants to go befriend the workers outside, which...
Because why?
What did he say?
Thinks he's going to get a better deal if he befriends these guys because, you know, these types of people, they'll rip you off if you don't befriend them.
He needs to relate to them, you know.
Right? So he goes out and he's trying to make friends, throw the football.
With his gangstas,
his
as he calls them.
His homies. I was thinking about how he goes out there and he's trying to make friends. He tells a story about how he had a friend who climbed a ladder and fell off and killed himself. And I think this is his second time he's referred to someone accidentally killing themselves. His friend, his one gay friend at the dinner party.
Yep.
So I just wrote that down. It was kind of like, wow, he's really good at...
He knows how to kill a moment.
He knows...
Well, this is the thing. He has no way of relating to these guys. No. So he decides, like, okay, what is the 1 ounce of something that I can relate to? And he's like, oh my gosh, my friend was a construction worker or played with plywood, as he said.
And he died.
And he died, which is great.
Yeah, he's absolutely awful. Every time he gets into a social situation, essentially comes up with a story in which a friend he had killed himself.
Wouldn't you say that this is just typical Stuart, though? He's around people that he doesn't have anything in common with, and then he just ruins
He's trying
every
too hard.
Yeah.
He's a reacher. We already know this.
We know he's a reacher.
Not only does he reach for guys, but he reaches for girls now.
What?
I'm sorry, the opposite. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a weekend.
Sunday night, yes. It's a
not
holiday.
only does he reach for women, but he reaches for men.
It's Halloween week. The end of Halloween week. I think we've all had our share of celebrating here in Los Angeles. Yeah. I don't know about across the world.
Still recovering.
But it's pretty funny. These guys are from the LBC, and they're kind of representing. You know, they say that it's the best town. You know, kind of like we're ride or die for our homies.
The LA girls are stuck up.
LA girls are stuck up, and you should come down to LBC to find a slump buster. So we now see...
Now, slump buster by definition.
By definition, essentially somebody to sleep with that will break your dry spell. Mm. I don't think Stuart even realized he had a dry spell until they completely spelled it out for him.
When was the last time Stuart got some? I mean, really?
We don't know that, do we?
I'm gonna say England.
It was probably that. What was that girl's name?
Girl. The girl that he talked about
wants to make her jealous.
The girl that they spied on his computer.
In the Word document.
Yep. Yes, in the Word document. The Word document girl.
Trudy.
Something to be continued, Trudy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's probably
That
true.
was probably I feel like Stuart's just like a relationship guy. He doesn't have one night stands. He doesn't slump bust.
He doesn't slump bust. So these guys invite him out to go out in Long Beach, and he gets a taste and experience of like the true LBC scene through these guys' eyes and perspective.
Right.
So they go down. Correct me if I'm wrong. They go down to the club that is Slumpbuster City.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it is
Slumpbuster Central.
Slumpbuster Central.
Yeah.
They find Easy E, Erica, and Stuart thinks that he can definitely hop on that.
And he probably could have. She seemed like she was totally cool with talking to him.
If he had had ample opportunity, I think it could have worked out.
I love your accent.
Yeah.
you know,
Killing it.
I really wanted to see Stuart on cocaine. I was a little disappointed that no, he didn't. I was hoping that when the guy knocked on the bathroom stall door, he would have snorted it quick.
Right.
But instead, he let it go to waste.
So you know what I was thinking was that so he gets called away because they need to go kick someone's ass. So they go to some house, and of course we get to see the true nature of LBC. Somebody talked smack about somebody else, and there had to go be a confrontation in which Stuart is awkwardly jammed up against the taco bar.
His hand goes in the salsa.
And he's the only one that gets hurt. Someone accidentally elbows him in the nose.
The nose.
He gets like guacamole on his shirt.
I mean, it was really embarrassing for him and no one else, of course. Like he has instant karma,
Yeah.
Sure.
right? He's the only one that really needs a slump buster, and he's the only one that's not going to get it. He's the one that's going to get slapped in the face for trying to take advantage of a situation.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So he goes back to the club, and then that's, of course, when he has his opportunity to do a bump, which we are doing right here on
Bam.
camera, which is a fist bump. He does not realize that a bump in this situation is not a fist
A
bump.
line of cocaine in the bathroom.
So funny.
Ay, ay, ay.
So the guy is offering him cocaine. Stuart doesn't know what to do. I mean, I don't know. Not everyone has been in this situation, obviously. Like, drugs aren't prevalent everywhere. But it's funny to be in LA, in the entertainment culture. Like, it is kind of prevalent. We were sort of having this discussion. Like, most people sort of know at least what that word verbiage means above. Like, so it's kind of hysterical. This guy acting who's so cool.
Even more hysterical, though, was the reaction that Stuart provided when the bouncer decided to knock on the bathroom stall. I think we all sort of predicted that he was going to go the gay way.
Yeah.
Just because he would either, I was thinking like, okay, so he's going to say to this guy that they were hooking up, or he's just going to be like, I'm sorry, we were doing coke. I love to see him freak out and squirm because he puts himself in these situations. Like, all he's doing is trying to relate. And I think it's hysterical what he gets himself into.
Absolutely. He tries to relate, but just fails miserably. He can't, instead of seeking out people that are relatable to him, he tries to be relatable to people that are completely out of his sphere.
Yeah.
Again and again and again. And you know, we saw in previous episodes, he's a reacher. Now he's reaching in like the other way, which is hilarious. I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but still quizzical.
He's trying to find his identity, I think.
Yeah. And he's trying to find girls, and he thinks, well, these guys get chicks.
Right.
So I'll do anything.
I had
Anything.
I had to write down some of the things they were saying. There was Pube,
Yes,
That
Pube.
was-
Cube the character.
who was holding the pimp juice.
Oh, yeah. Stuart had some pimp juice.
Go ahead.
They're called the wet dick posse.
The wet dick posse.
I did
I'm
write
sorry,
that
the
down, too.
LBC wet dick
Yes.
posse.
Yeah, and then I think what was also funny was that when Stuart's walking out and he's like, you really don't need to tell anybody about what happened. And the second he sees his boy, you would not believe what just happened. Clearly, everyone knows everyone. Everyone's in each other's business. You know, this is a different place than where Stuart comes from, at least in LA.
Everyone's just trying to drain their nuts, yo.
When he's sitting in the bitch seat and they're singing, bitch go through the window.
Hey. Yeah, hysterical.
Absolutely hysterical. I have been critical previously of these awkward moments. I thought this was just absolutely hilarious. It was too much fun.
It's because it wasn't too awkward.
Exactly. I was going to say it was well pieced together. It was funny on top of awkward instead of just so awkward that you just want to like crawl up in a ball and cry.
Totally.
Yeah.
But it was juxtapositioned against Jessica and what she was going through. And one of the things that I noticed, first of all, we see in the beginning of the episode that Wade comes over for her, which was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, because Wade caught on. I mean, especially after last week's episode where Stuart clearly took advantage of Wade by having the party at his apartment instead of, he was very selfish in the sense that he didn't want to ruin his place. Wade knows. Like, Wade knows what's up. He sort of knows that Stuart's a crappy friend, and I'm glad he realized.
Right. And I don't know, how do you guys feel about this? I thought Jessica looked beautiful and happy
She did look
in this
happy.
episode. Like, she looked really radiant.
I thought it was funny. I pointed out to you when she was laying in bed with Stuart, she looked great. She was glowy. She was smiley and giggled
Laughing
at his jokes.
jokes.
And I was like, I know they didn't sleep together in that way, but she looks like she's pretty comfy waking up next to Stuart.
And he's doing the jokes and like the little show by the closet, and she's giggling, and it's a coupley feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very comfortable.
I think the reason why she was feeling, or she was maybe looking so wonderful this episode is because for the first time in a long time, she's wanted. Wade wants her advice, and she's sort of helping out this new friend. She decides to watch Wade's daughter after giving him the advice to surprise his wife, Marion, at work by doing a grand gesture and totally freaking her out.
Let's just note to anyone out there that wants to be spontaneous. Spontaneous is like you already have a date planned, and then you go, surprise, we're going to go here instead. Not showing up in the middle of a public situation where you have obligations like work and appointments and meetings.
And you haven't spoken for 30 days.
And you haven't spoken 30 days.
Ooh.
That's just creeper. Yeah. So Jessica really meant well.
But she's never been separated or even married. So she really doesn't understand how deep this relationship is and how damaged it is. She doesn't know where that line was drawn.
She never probably had that much of a real relationship.
Yeah, I guess we don't even know that.
Yeah.
Cassidy, who she, generously offers to babysit their daughter, who's so cute, who's asking all these questions. I made a note that said Cassidy asks the simple questions. Is he your boyfriend? I mean, it should be a yes or no.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Well, do you kiss him? Sometimes, and they're asking all these questions, and that gets her to start thinking and asking questions too.
So when Glenn walked in the apartment,
And Glenn being, what did I write down?
the agent.
Dirtbag agent.
yes, the dirtbag agent Glenn, who she is having sex with and has been, he walks in as Wade is leaving with his daughter, and I so wanted the little girl, Cassidy, to wake up and be like, oh, you're Glenn. She likes you. Like, how cute would have that would have been?
Very cute. It was an opportunity for something to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that they're gonna sort of take Glenn places in the next 2 episodes because there's only 2 more left.
Right.
This has been quick.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel for Jessica because she wants to tell it like it is, but then she thinks she's going to be clingy, which is, I feel like, what we're thinking in the back of our heads a lot of times.
Right, as women.
I can relate to that. It's like, I'm freaking out because I don't know if I should sort of show my true feelings because I need to play it cool.
Right.
Like, have you guys ever done that?
Yes and no. I think I've tried, but I'm always really bad at that. I'm just wear my heart on my sleeve.
No poker face.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Poker face for other things, but not when it comes to love and emotion and stuff like that.
What about you, Kylie?
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm just a bag of emotions. I can't hold anything in. I give away surprises still. I'm 24. I shouldn't do that. But I did when she confronted Glenn. I thought it was very interesting the way he responded. I was always almost expecting him to just be like, freak out.
No, that was douche-tastic.
He turned it around on her.
Yeah.
And
He's
smooth. He's a smooth talker, and he's done this before, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to escape in the easiest way possible.
Glenn has miles on him. Glenn, we know your number.
Yeah.
He's got miles on him. That's why I wrote down dirtbag agent. This guy knows what he's doing.
Well, in the phone conversation when he calls, he's like, "Hey, I can be there in 5 minutes." She's like, "Well, I'm watching a kid, so I'm wrapping things up at work, so I'll probably be done when you're done. Just give me a call."
Yeah.
Like,
So gross.
douche, and she knows.
She knows, and she's still going with it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really interesting the way we have this sort of like raucous, fun, hilarious, hilarity ensues with Stuart. But then the juxtaposition of kind of seeing Jessica being vulnerable, being wanted. And I thought too, she was finally doing something for other people instead of for herself, or at least trying. Like she was being a friend to Wade, you know, and she's, you know, helping him out with his marriage, at least in her perception. That was my feeling. I can babysit your daughter. Like really.
I think she honestly felt guilty because in last week's episode, she sort of took in a homeless girl, and it was nice at first, and then she ended up kicking her out for selfish reasons, like, oh, I actually don't want you here. But she lied and she said that Stuart didn't want her there. So I think that, you know, she could feel bad and feels like, I need to pay it forward because she seems very spiritual.
Maybe that's true. I don't know.
I was also thinking that I was just thinking about Jessica in general, and I feel like her confidence is not up to par. I mean, I don't want to like label people, but I feel like the kind of person that lets a guy come into her bedroom when she wants to be more with him and knows it's not going to happen, but lets him keep dragging her on, she doesn't have the confidence to do something about it and know that she can do better.
Clearly.
Yeah. And Stuart too. He is kind of.
And the worst part is that this is who's guiding Wade. You know, this is who's giving Wade advice on how...
he needs some confidence boosters, too.
And how just heartbreaking was that when, I know, the daughter says, Daddy, Daddy, I want to show you the Brontosaurus. And he, you know, wife Marion says, I want a divorce. Just heartbreaking to see the tears stream down his face.
Hard, especially because she kept him on the line in the cafeteria when they met up. And she said, you know, maybe we could.
And it kind of...
She's really unsure.
It seemed like kind of poetic justice in the sense of watching... You know, there's always a consequence to your actions. And when you lead someone on and you know that there's no way that it's going to happen, you are ultimately responsible for hurting them any you know, further down the line. And so we know that Glenn is doing this with Jessica, even though she should probably know better.
She does know.
He's still responsible when she asks and he says, there could be eventually at some point, I hope.
But then you might not be at that point down the line, and I might not be where you are. What a jerk.
He's, like I said, douche-tastic.
Yeah.
He's had lots of practice. Yes. So, like, overall thoughts on the episode, like I said, I was thrilled. I feel like it really took a turn.
The cherry on top of the episode was the very end, when at the beginning he said he wanted to befriend the construction workers because they give you a good deal.
Yep.
And then what does he do? He pisses them off by hanging out with them.
Yep.
And then he gets screwed out of $3,000.
Yep.
And then graffiti, horrible, disgusting graffiti on his
And of
garage
course,
door.
the ladies that are running by, that he would have said, he was saying, hello, ladies, too, and they're giggling and laughing and pointing. I mean, it's just hysterical that he would have said that he was sucking the other guy off in the bathroom. Like, that would be the first thing he would say.
I mean, it's just so Stuart.
It's so
It
Stuart.
is very Stuart.
I mean, I loved this episode. I thought it was sort of a complete 180 from last week. But I did miss Kivas. But lucky for us, he's going to be on our show next week, co-hosting with us, and we're super excited to have Kevin on.
Yes, Kevin Wiseman's going to be in studio. We're so excited. We're going to ask him all kinds of questions about what it's like to play Kivas.
What it's like to take dick pics in 2 episodes.
Yes, you know, and also
That's what I want to know.
playing a character that's in a wheelchair.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely, that just has to take some work. And playing a character in a wheelchair next to a man who's 6'8" has to be a bizarre experience. So we'll find out all of that. Do we have predictions?
I think we do.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see if Wade turns to Jessica now that he knows that Marion's asking for a divorce. Because when she separated from him, he turned to Stuart, and Stuart proved to be the shittiest friend on the planet.
Wow, okay.
And Wade, I mean, like we said, he probably hasn't hit rock bottom. Now he's getting a divorce. He's going to slump even lower. So
Maybe Wade needs a slump buster.
Wade needs so many things. The poor guy. But I'm curious to see how he deals with that.
Well, next week's episode is called The Wedding, I believe. So I'm curious to see who's getting married, and I'm curious to see what kind of train wreck is going to happen. I'm either hoping that maybe Stuart's ex, the one that we were referring to before, maybe she's there, it's a mutual friend or something. Like, I really want to find out more about this girl, or I want to find out more about the model, Kimberly, who he's talked to on the phone a few times, but hasn't actually made the connection with.
Right.
So I'm still hoping to like him in some episode. There's 2 more left, and I don't like him at all. So, like, here's hoping, Stuart.
You know, I actually found him more likable this time in this episode. Given the vulnerabilities and the situations he was in, he was completely out of his element. And he couldn't use the apartment and the hot tub and the car and his status. Nobody cared. And I felt like that was much funnier and much more likable. I agree. My prediction is that we're going to see the model and that she's going to be a huge disappointment. That's my prediction. That he's going to have some kind of breakthrough where he'll realize that this huge dream and fantasy has really been all for naught.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we'll see. And we're going to have our special guest next week.
Yes.
So we're excited. So excited about that. And my friends, where can the fans find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at the Kylie Hodges or on Wednesday nights, South Park After Show.
You can find me at Jillian Leff, and make sure that you tweet us questions for Kevin, because we want to hear from you guys.
Please tweet us questions, all of our Twitter handles. Mine is at Miss Oriana Leo, MissOrianaLeo, or at Oriana Leo for Instagram. And tweet us or put in questions underneath for YouTube. Rate us, tell a friend, and please rate us on iTunes too. We love this show and we work as volunteers, so your ratings on iTunes really help us out here at AfterBuzz. And that's it for today.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.